Hey everybody, Ryan Bassam here with my buddy Kym Lloyd. We've got another Road to 100 podcast for you presented by Mallard Bay, your best guide in outfitter solutions, Benelli Firearms, the best shotguns on the market, Lacrosse Boots, keep those feet warm, RW Coolidge for the best nostalgic leather and canvas goods for the waterfowler, First Light, their new waterfowl line has been keeping us warm and dry on our hunts around the world, Apex Ammunitions from steel to tungsten, best ammo for the job, Sound Gear, protect your hearing and enjoy the hunt. Montana Knife Company, you got to eat those birds, guys. And finally, Safari Club International, our favorite conservation organization, protecting hunters' rights around the world.
In this episode, we're joined by a man who guides, hunts, and edits and puts it all together on YouTube, the Cole Townsend. We'll explore Cole's journey from a kid hunting in Texas to where he is today, uncovering his top tips for aspiring creators, and get ready for some wild stories that only a waterfowl guide like Cole can tell. So turn up the volume, settle in, and get ready for this episode of the Road to 100 podcast. In the heart of every waterfowl hunter, there's a memory where it all began. For us, the waterfowl life started in the southern United States in the flooded timbers and expansive marshland. But as our journey unfolded, the quest for waterfowl led us beyond our home. The passion eventually takes us to different flyways, different countries, and beyond. We discovered that the culture of waterfowl transcends borders. And so, a daring dream took root, a dream to hunt 100 different species of waterfowl across the globe. We wanted to share the story of adventure and encounters with fellow hunters, each sharing the same passion as us. The landscapes will change, the species will vary, but the passion remains the same. One dream, a long road, 100 species. This is the Road to 100.
All right, everybody, we are here in Alberta with our good buddy Cole Townsend. Another episode for the podcast. We've got a fun little segment we're going to kick this thing off with. It's called Rapid Fire, Cole.
So, I'm indecisive, but I'll try.
Yeah, we're gonna see. You got 60 seconds to answer these questions for me.
Oh God!
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
Field hunts or water hunts?
Field.
Favorite junk food?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Ducks or geese?
Geese.
Why can't we tickle ourselves?
Who said we can't?
Oh, okay, all right. Improved mod or full choke?
Improved mod.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
12 gauge or sub gauge?
Marry a brunette. 12 gauge. Love sub gauges though.
Name one of the 7 dwarves.
No clue.
That's not one of them.
Freona.
Layouts or A-frames?
Layouts.
All right.
100%. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So super stoked to be here with you. Like we said, we like playing that fun little game. But let's learn more about who Cole Townsend is, man. I watched you on YouTube and followed you on social media for a while. And we were super excited to come up here and hunt with you and have you be a part of the Road to 100 project. I think that the film that we're working on here right now is going to be a lot of fun to watch. But this is kind of an opportunity for everybody to get to know you at a little bit deeper level than what they may see just on your YouTube channel or with the project that we're doing. So, dude, give us the nickel tour. Tell us about Baby Cole.
Want the rundown?
Give us that rundown.
Well, first rundown, I'm super jealous of you being able to go on the Road to 100 and shoot all these species while I'm guiding every day and not able to kill nothing but a mallard and pintail. And I'm complaining about it.
Yeah,
now.
But for most people, you're living the dream.
Yeah. It is a dream most days, but to be able to take a break and go hunt something new every now and then would be awesome. So.
Sure.
That's awesome. This whole idea is great.
Thank you.
I'm from a small town, and I guess you'd say it's West Texas, Abilene, Texas. I grew up deer hunting, actually. My dad only took me deer hunting, dove hunting. I didn't get into waterfowl stuff until I was about 12 or 13 when one of my buddies in middle school took me duck hunting on a Texas pond. We shot the first group of ducks that ever came in was like 15 redheads, and they came back twice. So we shot into them once, dropped 8. They came back around. We shot 7. I was addicted after that. That was the whole hunt. It was the whole hunt. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. So hunted Texas ponds growing up. This moves on to high school. One of my other buddies got a job with an outfitter about 45 minutes away from Abilene, working as, low on the totem pole, basically cleaning birds, putting grass on blinds, anything the higher up dudes, the head guides would tell us to do, we did. And we did it for free. Our payout was to be able to go on cool hunts. So we were super stoked. Didn't care about the money. We were 15 years old. I was 15.
That's cool.
When I first started working for an outfitter at Ranger Creek. And I just absolutely fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was addicted. I mean, one of my first goose hunts I ever went on, we got a spin of like 3,500 speckle bellies. Landed like 600 of them in the decoys. I mean, it was just like, and what do you do? I didn't even know how to blow a goose call at this point. So I'm just now on a double reed duck call, and they're all making fun of me because they're on single reeds and cut downs, and they're like making fun of me. So I'm like, so I had a learning curve really fast. These guys are mid 30s and I'm 15. So I have these, the lime green call and lanyard and stuff, and they all gave me crap. And
that's awesome, though.
He's like, you're flaring the birds, put that lime green lanyard away. Derek McDaniels, I don't know if you know. Yeah, he made fun of me all the time.
That's
so
funny.
I got beat down enough to want to keep doing this. Pretty
growing
much.
pains, right?
Yeah.
Those are the good growing pains.
It was. I feel like it doesn't happen enough these days. Kids just become head guides immediately. It took me about 5 years to become an actual guide taking clients hunting.
Sure.
I was just the helper for 5 years.
Well, and I would guess that in those 5 years of having to do that grunt work, there was a lot of critical learnings that I'm sure, as we have this conversation, impacted you in some pretty significant ways to run your own operation now.
Absolutely. So I was working for what'd you say?
An outfitter operation.
I'm tired,
whatever.
guys.
No, it's been a grind.
So I was
right?
working for an outfitter, and you don't know anything when you're 15. So you're going in as a sponge, and you get to absorb everything. So you see these things, all these birds, how they decoyed. You get to ask the guy that's already been there, why they do this, why they do that. So you're learning every day. You haven't been there, done that, and go to a new place. I got to learn every single day for 5 years, and that brings me to the next step in my life. I wanted more, so I wasn't going to be a head guide or anything until I was done with college. So,
and you played baseball?
Yeah, so I went to college to play baseball. I would not have gone to college. My family forced me to. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But I was pretty much forced. I told them I'm not going. I ended up getting a full ride scholarship to play at Arkansas Little Rock as a pitcher, left-handed pitcher.
Nice.
Got my marketing and business degrees for the family. Wanted to quit the whole way. If it wasn't for baseball, I definitely would not have gone to college.
Time out real quick. Do you use your college degree at all for what you do now? Even a little bit?
Technically, I guess. I market to sell hunts.
Yeah.
But no, not really. I mean,
I feel the same way. Go to school, kids.
I can't say anything about school. I'm not all for it. I'll just say that. If I were to have just gone into guiding, I'd be a lot further in my life. I will say that, because this is what I chose to do at a young age. Sure. But I grew up, I was throwing mid-90s in high school from the left side.
Right.
So that's all I wanted to do was play professional baseball and have the waterfowl season in the off season. So
I feel like there's a lot of baseball players that want that.
that was the dream.
What off-speed pitches were you throwing?
I didn't throw any off-speed in high school.
Straight gas.
Slider and slider and changeup in college. Got injured a lot, so that ended. Had to kind of focus my life on going to school and learning stuff. So I learned marketing and business. That was the only thing I was interested in. Growing businesses, watching businesses grow, kids starting their own apparel companies and garages, all that kind of stuff. I was always intrigued with how they did it. Entrepreneurs, I've always absolutely loved that.
Was there any key inspiration from different people you kind of watched and learned from
Yeah.
outside of just that hands-on experience with other outfitters?
Yeah, I guess so. So when I worked at Ranger Creek, Eric Guggenheim was a big photographer.
Googie.
He was a big photographer.
If you don't know who Googie is,
Yeah.
you should.
Yeah, he's awesome. Awesome guy. So he taught me a little bit in photography. Derek McDaniels taught me how to blow a goose call. John Stanley or JD, he taught me how to blow a duck call. So like
all great guys,
some
all
top
great
tier
guys.
callers got
Absolutely.
to teach me all this stuff. They all had their sponsors and their pro staff. I was like, that's cool. I'd like to have a company to be able to have kids be the pro staff and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, man, I was just a dreamer. I was a kid in the candy store with all these older dudes that are on TV shows. They're on YouTube. They're on R&T TV. They're on Bill Saunders Calls, like all this stuff. I thought was so cool, and I just couldn't get over it. Once I started having injuries in baseball, I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I wasn't going to play pro ball. I did get drafted, turned it down because I wouldn't have made any money. I was old by this time, and senior in college, they don't really get paid that much signing bonus unless you're like
first
Aroldis
round.
Chapman or something, you know. But yeah, so that brings me to Canada. That's when once I was done with college, that's when this kind of started rolling. I actually met Thomas, my business partner, Thomas Gilpin, in college. I went on a snow goose hunt. I skipped baseball practice to go on a snow goose hunt, and he was our guide. Comeback Calls actually invited me. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so we killed, I think, 267 snow geese or something. Me and Thomas hit it off in the blind. We both had long hair at this time. I was a pitcher, long hair. We had like 15-inch hair. He had long blonde like surfer boy hair.
Chain.
And I'm like, we just hit it off. Yeah. And and then a year later, done with college, Thomas is like, hey man, this stuff came up for sale in Alberta. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, let's start an outfitter. I had a following kind of starting to grow on Instagram. I was like, I've taken clients already for about 8 years. I had a client list. I was like, I can reach out to people. We can get something started. He had a client list. He'd been guiding for 10 years. So about 18 years of clients and phone numbers to call people and be like, hey, look, this is our first year. Would you come with us? You come for free. You can bring 6 paying people. So we ended up getting like a little over half of our season booked our very first year. And we're like, gosh, dang. So we really just kept at it after that. And yeah, this stuff did come up for sale from an outfitter that got kicked out for a bunch of illegal things. Canada was going to put his stuff up for auction, so he was forced to sell. And I don't know if you guys know how owning an outfitter in Canada works, but basically, I'll try to explain this the best I can.
Yeah. It's important.
It's simple. I've had this conversation quite a bit, so I'll do my best. But basically, you purchased a slot of land that has a number on it. And that slot you purchase is a one-time fee, and all it's good for is for taking U.S. clientele to hunt. So you buy 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots, maybe an hour-long drive in every direction, right? Mm-hmm. So you buy 4 of them, you may be able to hunt an hour north, an hour south in both directions. So, and that's the only reason you're buying that is to be able to take U.S. people up here to Canada to take them hunting. If I were to take Canadians clientele, if I had all Canada clientele, I could hunt anywhere in Alberta, which would be honestly awesome. But I don't know how to reach that audience, which it would actually be really cool. But we pretty much have about 80% are U.S. based, so we can only take them in certain areas.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that
makes sense.
We got in at a good deal. I had money saved up after college, and I guess Thomas had money saved up, so we just threw it all in, wrote it out. Our second year owning the outfitter, the COVID hit. So that's when we found our Canadian clientele. So we couldn't take any U.S. people. U.S. people couldn't come up. We came up because we owned a business up in Canada. They let us through. And so we actually went on Facebook Marketplace and got like $50,000 in Canadian clientele.
Wow, that's crazy.
Basically broke even for our second year owning a business. We were like, gosh, dang, We actually did really well our first year and then broke even our second. And then third year, that whole season, we'd post some pictures, marketing. That third year, we really jumped in the clientele numbers that third year because they were watching our stuff all year and couldn't come, so they were ready to go. So, yeah, now we're on year 5, and you guys are up here, and we're having a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. No,
that's pretty much my story, man.
Well, and so but you still, after the Canadian season, you jet down to Texas.
Yeah.
And you work with Toby, is that right?
Right.
So tell us, like, how did you get to know Toby?
Okay. I met Toby at Ranger Creek about 15 years ago.
Okay. So was he a guy there?
No. Googie and Toby, they're cousins.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So family related somehow. I'm not really actually sure if they're actually cousins or second cousins. I'm not sure.
One of those things.
They call each other cousins, though, so I know they're related through their father, I think. But yeah, so I met Toby at Ranger Creek. I actually worked at Goose Reapers with Shelby Anderson before going to Ranger Creek. Before going to Cadillac. So I worked in Oklahoma for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I've only worked for Toby the last 2 years. So this will be my third year going down there.
So for everybody that's listening, essentially, this is the guide life that you're living. You come here in September, guide clients through about November, and then book it down to West Texas and guide clients November through January.
Yep.
That doesn't suck.
The end of January.
Yeah.
And then I used to go to Arkansas for a month and a half.
For snows.
For snow geese, and then I'd go to Missouri. I only did that for 2 years. Never do it again.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Is you not like the chasing snow geese?
I don't mind snow geese, but after about 4 months of guiding, you're pretty over it.
Yeah.
Once you hit 7 months, I didn't want to hunt ever again.
Right.
Dude, like the second year I did it, I never wanted to hunt again. And I have a really good story of why I never wanted to do it again.
Lay it on
a good story.
Let's hear it.
So in Arkansas, I wasn't going to Missouri, but this was the last time I was doing snow goose stuff. And I even say this now. Last year I went to Canada and guided snow goose hunts for 2 weeks. I'm like, sometimes you're just addicted, guys. But no, I will not go back to Arkansas and guide snow goose hunts or Missouri because it's freaking cold and Arkansas is wet and muddy, and that's my reasons why. But I stopped doing the snow goose stuff in Arkansas because I don't know if y'all remember, like 3 years ago, that huge cold front that blew out Dallas and Arkansas. So I had to guide in that.
Oh,
I worked for a company that I'm not going to say on here that didn't give me any help for 3 days. It was basically wake up at 2 a.m. I set about 1,500 snow goose socks by myself in 6 inches of snow and drilled every single hole to put those decoys in. So 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. shooting time to done at 11 or 12 to going to scout. I was up for, basically, long story short, I was up for 72 hours 2 times that season.
That's horrible.
After already guiding for 5.5, 6 months. And I was like, I'm never doing it again. Like, it ruined me. It ruined me for a long time. And now I'm back at it. But it destroyed me.
Yeah.
I was up for 3 days, and I slept in the field 2 of those days, like in my truck.
That's tough.
We actually sunk the guy's Ranger in the pond, which was awesome.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was by accident. We were actually taking clients on the sled in the snow behind it, driving around, and then they put me in the sled, and he just guy from the north thinks the ice on a pond is solid in Arkansas, right? So takes off, slaps. Basically, the Ranger slaps the water, and it ripples, and I'm in the sled like, oh, and I'm going down. I hop out. Ranger's sinking, and we didn't want to tell him. So, you can see the whole. We ended up walking out on the ice later that night, attaching a chain and pulling the whole thing out. Took two trucks, broke a truck. So it actually took 3 trucks, broke a truck, blew a tranny. We're just sliding on the ice. Like, it was a nightmare. Ended up getting it out. We parked it, cleaned it up. like 3 days later, he calls, hey, what happened? He wasn't at our lodge, so the owner was at another lodge. So we were like, okay, we got away. We got away with this. 3 days later, he's like, he just looks at the pond and it's all frozen still, and it's just kind of rippled. Looks like a ranger sunk in there.
It's a ranger-sized hole.
But it wasn't in there. And he goes to try to cut on the ranger and stuff to take it hunting the next day with clients, and we're like, oh God, is it gonna start? So it didn't start. Battery is dead. Get the battery back. Block froze and blew up. So
crap.
yeah. Later on, don't have a ranger. Setting decoys. We're all tired. I take these Russians hunting. This is my story I was getting at. So I take these Russians hunting along with a bunch of U.S. people. So it was like I had like 9 people plus 2 Russians. One was like some kind of U.S. spy.
What the fuck?
Some like he was saying. I was like, there's all this weird stuff. But so long story short, we hunt. We don't kill crap. We shot 10 snow geese. It was miserably cold. It was like -10 or something. And we get done. They're like, thank you, hand me a tip. They just go hop in their rental car. They're in a rental car. They flew from Miami. They're Russians that live in Miami, Florida. And we're still picking up decoys at this point. And I just look up. So basically the birds racked up on us in the field next to us. And we didn't kill anything because they just kept going to that field. And so I look up after picking decoys up. And I double take, and there's this rental car going through the field, just teeter-tottering at the snow geese with a 12-gauge out the winter.
No.
All we hear is pop, 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 pop. And they had tubes on, so it's like pop, 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 pop. In the other field that I don't know who it is, and they come back with, look, we got geese. We got geese. I said, get out of here right now. Get out of here. Like, everyone get we left the decoys packed up, everything we could, and got out of there. I'm like, I call my boss. I'm like, hey.
So the Russians.
So this farmer across the road, we know this guy? Yeah. I'm like, okay, good. So we ended up going back and getting
Russians
our stuff.
go
but
rogue,
dude,
man.
that was like, that's the most Russian thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Kidding.
That is so
Yeah.
good. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh man. So that kind of broke you, that, huh? It was just
That
like, all right,
that
too much.
season broke me. Yeah.
It's an interesting style of hunting. Sounds like Russian snow goose hunting.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
how I'd imagine it would go for sure.
They had no idea they did anything wrong either. They were like,
They
look,
just thought it was
they were
totally
just like
fine.
happy, like the biggest smiles on their face
Yeah.
ever.
Well, they were probably wondering why you didn't take them on a drive-by.
Yeah.
you
Why
didn't
know?
he do
Like,
this
Well,
that's
they
horrible.
all they would kept doing. They're like, look. They'd look at me. They sat next to me. Look, all the geese over there. Look, let's go get them. I'm like, no. I'm laughing. I'm like, I don't know what to do. We can't. So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
so good. Crazy, man. So in total, how much time have you spent as a guide and outfitter? How many years?
How many years have I worked for a guide or outfitted? This is my 13th year.
13.
Yeah.
So I'd assume that in guiding this many months out of the year, and some crazy stories that I still want to get into.
Oh, we
beyond
can.
beyond the rogue Russians.
Yeah.
I feel like, for a lot of people that are coming up and really aspire to be a guide or an outfitter, I mean, if you were to say, hey, these are some really key things that you should think about, like what would be your, hey, this is what you got to focus on if you want to do this. These are the do's and the don'ts.
Right.
This isn't for you if, etc. Like give us the spiel on that for anybody listening that thinks they want to live the guide life.
So for me, from my experience, it'd be an age thing, right? So I got into it at a young age. I didn't need the money. I didn't need anything. I just thought the experience was cool and got to learn a lot. So if you're young or in high school and you just want to do it to learn and get into it, and maybe once you get to college and you start getting some money for college or whatever, that would be the route I would take. Now, if you're 25, 20s, or out of college, let's just say out of college or done with school, and you don't have a job, I would not jump into guiding. It's not, you just don't make enough money to live on, especially these days. So if you were to jump in at it in your 20s or something, if you're bored with the job you have and you have money saved up and you want to jump into it, I would suggest doing that. But as far as making a living and doing it the right way, I wouldn't just jump into it not knowing anything, because there's a lot of bad apples. Let's say you might get in with the wrong business owner you don't want to work for. You might not enjoy the other employees there. There's a lot of early days and late nights and a lot of tired, grumpy people that you have to deal with every day. So just keep that in mind. And if you're worried about money the whole time, you're not going to have fun anyway. Right. So
true, very true.
That's my biggest tip. I mean, and if I would also suggest getting a degree just to have it, especially if you're just going to jump into this. So
yeah, some sort of fallback.
You got to have a fallback plan, because I mean, they could just take this away anytime they want. I mean, you never know. Right. Especially Canada, this could be just taken away from us any year, any day. Sure. They're already trying to ban 12-gauge shotguns.
Exactly.
I mean, what's
so
next?
Crazy.
Yeah.
They're banning ARs. They don't want us to have guns. You know, it could go away at any time. So have a fallback plan. Don't get into this thinking you're going to make a shit ton of money in your first few years. I made this a successful thing, I think, because of my following, and I'm able to produce a lot of revenue for these companies and bring clientele to them now. It took years. It took 8 years for me to make an honest, good living doing this. 8 years. So
sure. Yeah.
Now we're on year 13. So.
Overnight success, 8 years in the making.
Yeah, I guess. There's no overnight success in guiding. There's not.
Is there any way for somebody who may be getting out of college and is just like really passionate, like you were saying, is there any way to supplement, like, you know, you're working during the year, you got enough saved up to take off during season and start getting your feet wet? Maybe it prolongs that 8 years into 16, sure. But yeah, I was just curious about
that.
For
sure. You have to have another job if you're just getting into this.
Yeah.
You do. In the off season. And if you're able to get off, great.
Yeah.
If I were to have done this the right way, I probably would have started selling real estate when I was younger and guided not 3 months, not 6 or 7 or 8. You know, that's what I kind of wish I'd done. Then I'd have more free time to go hunt with buddies. That's my biggest regret, is being 15 years old and enjoying the buddy hunts for it was honestly like a year and a half. And then I started working for an outfitter and never stopped. So
yeah.
Being able to just go out and hunt with your friends is so awesome. And it's a big thing I miss.
Is that part of how you keep your passion for I can't relate on the guide aspect of things, but for me creatively, like working on projects all the time for work, it gets hard. Every once in a while you have to take a break, step back and just go with some buddies to keep that passion.
When
for
I
the
can,
craft.
I will.
Yeah.
So like Kelly, if I can go out and just hunt with him for a day, like it'll ease me up so much.
Yeah, a little bit of balance to keep the fun in it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So it's you have to. Yeah. And like traveling up, I'll hunt in North Dakota in August. I don't care if we shoot 5 birds in 4 days. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like just being out there and not having to
the pressure
of man, like
yeah.
These people are spending thousands to shoot a handful of birds, really. If you don't shoot anything, like, dude, that's right. You feel horrible.
Yeah.
Some owners of companies don't feel bad at all, and like that's the ones I'm talking about, like that you don't want to work for, because if they don't feel bad about taking thousands from people, they're not going to feel bad about you, you know. And I have worked for someone like that, and just got to be careful. Have a backup plan. No matter what you're doing.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
I think the thing that, and Logan, you and I talked about this briefly today on our drive back from the hunt, but all the better outfitters that I've worked with in different capacities, there's only certain variables you can control.
Right.
And if you control those variables at a high level, even on a bad day of hunting, you're good. The clients are still happy.
Right.
Like if you've got a good personality, you're fun, they're having a good time, joking around. If the food's good, you have somebody like Mardog.
Mardog.
And she's, putting those meals out every time. Those few variables I feel like can really up your game as an outfitter. Right. So
it definitely does. We try to control what we can control. I mean,
that's all I can do.
That's all we can do. And if we mess one of those things up, I'll get upset, but I don't care about the hunts going bad. Like that won't hurt my feelings because I know it wasn't our fault. Typically, we set up how we're supposed to set up every time, in the right field, in the right position, and blah, 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 blah. If the wind switches, if the birds fly a different direction, we won't be able to sleep at night if we get upset at those kind of things. You know,
Yeah,
we have to
right.
have sleep to survive.
Sure. I think that's something that most people don't understand is like we probably feel it at a little bit different capacity than you do as a guide, but at the same time, everyone's like, oh yeah, the Road to 100 thing, that's pretty cool. You guys are getting to go on. It's like, yeah, but the pressure we feel, like this is work for us too.
See, you've turned it into a job.
It's a job.
Yeah.
And so like same thing for you as a guide. It's like, yeah, it's fun. I'm getting to go out and do the thing and do the hunts. But there's deliverables that all of us have to at some level meet a certain expectation from partners or whomever. And that can take some of the fun out of it if you're not careful. So it's a careful what you wish for sort of deal, I guess.
People don't realize how much goes into even that and guiding as well. Like it's hours.
Yeah.
Like you have pretty much any waterfowl hunt that's awesome. You have 1 hour of really awesome hunting.
Right.
And then, so we were up at 4:30 and it's 10:09 now. And we're talking about 1 hour here.
Yeah.
Right.
Of really
Sure.
high adrenaline enjoyment, you know, and then after that, it's all, I mean, this is fun, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Getting to
but
hang.
the rest we're working,
Yeah.
you know,
For sure.
and kids just think it's all fun. Like, dude, we've been working
definitely
all day.
not.
We had an hour of really awesome hunting.
Yeah.
Like that's what y'all think's fun. It was an hour long.
When they hear, oh yeah, you got to grind it out, they're not realizing the grind isn't that hour of pure bliss of you know, shouldering
That's
a shotgun.
that's the easy part.
It's the discipline and the consistency of showing up every day to
everything
be
that
in the
goes
right
on to
place.
make that happen, you know,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, you said a couple things that I know that I kind of want to hear you and Chaim geek out on YouTube. So, like, you've developed a pretty interesting network through working as a guide and an outfitter.
Yeah.
But I think too, what most people that may be watching, maybe they don't know that you have a pretty sizable following on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
and
getting there.
Instagram. Yeah, it's bigger than what we got going, but we're hoping to get up there with you.
Oh, you will.
You know?
You will.
And so we're Chaim knows YouTube better than I do. Kind of unknown territory for me, but like, tell us about the YouTube stuff, man.
Man, I'll just have to ask questions.
Hit 'em.
'Cause
Hit 'em up, Chaim.
Hit me with
Yeah.
a question.
Start firing.
Well, you said earlier, you know, in that year of COVID when you were doing your Canadian clients and like starting to film a little bit, one, what gave you that idea that like to film?
So, I've always wanted to film. I've just never dedicated myself to sit down and edit something. Besides, I was just into photography. Like,
Right.
we were into
Yeah.
photography.
That was a theme. Like,
Photos was popping
That's
on
what it-
Instagram.
that's what it was.
That's all I knew.
Same.
I didn't get Instagram until my senior year in high school. These kids are getting it in 8th grade. Like,
Right.
we were way behind, you
yeah.
know?
Shoot, I was in college.
Yeah. See? Like, so Googie taught me photography. I got a camera, saved up for a camera, took pictures. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Then I just got to guiding and hunting so much and so often, and I forgot hunts.
Yeah.
So that's what initially made me want to start videoing. I want to know what this hunt I forgot about. When
Documentation.
buddies asked me about 100 stack we shot 3 years ago, and I have no clue what he's talking about. Like, it was a badass hunt. What are you talking about, dude? I have no idea.
Because you're doing it so much.
Yeah, no, not really, but
But still.
literally like 200 days a year. You can't remember a
yeah.
lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's something crazy like the Road to 100 where you're going to shoot different species.
Right.
You can remember those, but you kill Canada geese for 60 days straight, you're not going to remember every hunt. So
Yeah.
that's what initially made me want to film and edit and video and just be able to look back on something in 10 years. That's what got me doing it. But even that initial thought, it was 3 years until I actually started a YouTube channel after that thought went through my head. So,
Yeah.
and if I wish I would have started earlier, because apparently it was better
Yeah.
way, 5 years before
Yeah.
I started. Apparently it
Right.
was super good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted something to look back on.
Yeah. Well, what drove that initial passion for like photography? Was it the other people around you, or like what specifically? Like you're just that passionate about the birds and the life?
No, I love art.
Okay.
Creative outlet.
Yeah.
I'm an artist. I can draw pretty much anything with
That's
a
cool.
pencil. And
Okay.
when I saw Googie's photos in magazines and stuff, I was like, I can do that.
Yeah, just
and
clicked
I
with
just
you.
wanted to
Right.
do it. So started watching YouTube videos on exposure and shutter speed
Yeah.
and all that stuff, and learned it all and just wanted to do it myself.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to pay anyone to do it for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, really nothing other than that.
At what point did you feel like you had a handle on where the YouTube channel was going? Like, how long did you have to do it before you were like, okay, I think I got this figured out?
I mean, this year.
Really? Right.
The third year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I have a strategy to edit in a professional strategic way to be able to do 3 videos a week. That's pretty much it. My first video on YouTube got like 20,000 views.
Wow.
And
crazy.
all I did was use my photography skills to make a crazy looking thumbnail.
Yeah.
And titled it in solo 12 gauge limit of ducks. I had 8 mallards in my hands like this, just kneeled on the ground, and had it edited in like cool teal blue colors, green popping and all that, and it got like 20,000 views. I'm like, oh, I can do this. I was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, because you didn't know before that, you didn't know I was posting 4-minute duck calling tutorials, and those would go, 5,000 views. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll do one of these a week until season starts. And by the time season started, I had like 2,500 subscribers just from duck call tutorial videos and a couple goose calling ones.
Okay.
I'm like, dang. So I was already monetized by the
Right.
time hunting season started.
Perfect.
So it's like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So I knew just from scrolling, I'd type in duck hunting on YouTube and just scroll for hours and find the biggest videos and just analyze their thumbnail and title.
Yeah.
And I'd basically steal them. I mean, I'd basically, like, if someone had some mallards they shot and they had a title and a thumbnail and it had 1 million views, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I can go kill 8 mallards and title and thumbnail the same thing.
Yeah. Good artist copy,
So,
great artist
yeah,
skill.
so that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that the editing and like the footage, the bad quality footage, audio, it didn't matter. I'm like, it's still getting 50,000, 30,000,
content.
10,000 views. I'm
Yeah.
like, all it is POV, point of view, shotgun shooting.
Well, it helps. You have a
stuff like that.
personality, and
That-
y'all are killing
that
birds.
too, but
yeah.
go back and watch my videos on my very first season doing this. I didn't talk to the camera for
Really?
more than a minute.
Wow.
Really?
Right.
It was just,
Just the birds.
it was like, dude, I was so nervous holding the camera,
Yeah.
It feels weird when you do that.
So like, hey guys, we're in Canada. I'm going duck hunting. And then it just cut to like 12 minutes of me shooting a limit of ducks.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't even close out the video and get 20,000 views. I'm
yeah.
like, oh God.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm doing nothing right but the thumbnail and title. I can figure this crap
And
out.
the consistency, though. You
And
were doing the
I was. The
right?
consistency is
That's
the big
key.
deal. Every week, once a week at the same time. Huge deal for YouTube.
Yeah.
Their algorithm is based on committed influencers. Like they want to know that you want to do this.
That's
Which is
useful
awesome.
information because I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people for years I would spend time working for clients and for myself, like putting a lot of time into like Martin Scorsese type film,
Right.
and it's like, man, this is going to be a
Yeah.
banger, but you drop 1 or 2 of those a year, no one gives a crap.
No.
No one cares.
No.
And it's because the algorithm's not pushing
If
it.
they can't follow your personality or a story, they're not. You're not going to get subscribers.
Yeah.
So now, like this being the third year after all this analyzing, I tell the date of the time of year, migration reports, blah 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 blah. You're talking to a human.
Yeah.
Like I look at my camera like it's another human, and I'm having a conversation with it. You're right.
That is a great tip.
So
no doubt.
that's what you have to do to get someone to follow your story, and you give them the scene.
Yeah.
We're in a pea field, 10-mile-an-hour wind, A-frame hunt. We've got 6 guys out here. Just
Yeah.
super quick, simple, minute and a half intro, get straight into the hunting, and I mean that's my strategy.
That's what works for you.
Because I remember being young and watching YouTube videos, and it'd be like a 5-minute intro, and they haven't killed anything. I'm like, click off. If they click off at 5 minutes, it'll kill your video.
Yeah.
Because it's a retention base.
Yeah, it's retention based. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
you want, like, ideally for a good YouTube channel, you're getting 50% retention watch time or more. So 20-minute video, you want people to watch 10 minutes or more.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So how is YouTube helped your business, you know, like bringing in clients? Like how many clients have seen your stuff and like find you based on that?
Honestly, not many that we have.
Really?
Right.
No,
Surprises
just
me.
because the slots were filled before.
Yeah.
I mean, they were filled before YouTube. So
Yeah.
Thomas and I's client list. If a slot does open up, it'll be filled with an Instagram or YouTube person.
Right.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost
Y'all have
every
enough
time.
repeat
Yeah.
business.
Right.
that-
So it's all repeat still.
Yeah.
Unless someone has a kid or, they get sick, or don't want to come back. It was a one-time thing. It'll be filled with a YouTube or Instagram person
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
And how many clients do y'all take a year?
Up here, we do about 140. So each group of 6 to 8 people hunts for 3 days. So
Right.
yeah, up to 16 to 20 a week.
How do you
Not bad.
strategize dumping that content like on your page? Like, is it like, are you doing videos from the week prior or the week of? Or?
Yeah, use us being here as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to post y'all's first hunt tomorrow
Okay.
Thursday.
Gotcha.
Right.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah,
Quick turnaround.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
figured it was quick.
like after a hunt tomorrow, I'm gonna finish that video. Like I've already got it started. I don't know. I kind of pick favorites. Like that'll be a good hunt on film. We were having fun and all
Yeah.
that, and we shot a bunch of greenheads. Like
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that one out there. You
Right.
know.
Yeah.
And I will say like duck videos on YouTube do tenfold what a goose hunting video.
Really?
Like I was gonna post a goose hunting video Thursday,
Uh-huh.
but I'm gonna post the mallard. Like
Yeah.
we beat some greenheads up.
Yeah.
Put it on there. I'll put the
What's the working
honker one.
title for this video? Yeah, give me some cold wisdom here.
Man. So it's clickbait.
Yeah.
It's huge clickbait this
sure.
time. Like it'll be good. I mean, hopefully after like see, I
Airing
say
out
it's
the secrets here.
it's clickbait, but like we kill a bunch of birds in all of our videos, so I don't feel that bad about it. I'm not gonna post a video clickbait and we shoot 5 birds. Like I'm
Yeah,
not gonna do
right.
that. So at least like I'll have the quality hunt. But anyway, so Ducks Waterfowl is doing a giveaway to where they can win a hunt with me,
Yeah.
and so I'm gonna put that as the title because
Okay.
in the intro I explain, guys, sign up for the shirt of the month. You're entered to win a hunt with me, Flair, Bobby Guy. Go sign up. It's only $15. You get a free shirt every month for $15. Why not? And you have a chance to hunt with me in Texas, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to title it Duck Hunting and a Chance to Come Hunt with Me.
Yeah.
Right.
That'd be
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
simple.
So not
Simple.
like
you want to keep it super
we killed
simple.
1,000 mallards over,
Yeah, like
more.
yeah, like I wish I could put that. Let's go to Romania and shoot 1,000
Yeah.
mallards. That'd be an easy title and thumbnail.
Let's go.
There's 1,000 mallards on the ground, and we killed 1,000 mallards. People will click on that every
That's
time.
it.
So for people listening, where can they go watch this video and follow your YouTube? What's your YouTube tag?
I don't even know my YouTube tag. It's like Cole Townsend. Everything's the
I'll
Cole
double check.
Townsend.
Yeah, but he's so hot right now, people, that you can type in Cole and
Exactly.
Townsend will pop.
I
up.
should. I hope so. I hope so.
Here, I'm gonna look it up. Bam! Look, it's already up here. It's because I was watching something. It is at Cole Townsend
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Made it
but
backwards.
the Cole Townsend.
The
yeah.
Cole Townsend.
Yeah.
So,
22,000 subscribers and growing.
cool.
let's go.
Dang, that's grown a lot today.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, and the Cole Townsend isn't a cocky thing. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what.
You have to do.
Just
I-
makes you add shit.
I went to the original Cole Townsend, just at Cole Townsend on Instagram, and tried to buy it from this kid, and because my name went from like Cole_Townsend_
Right.
images or something. I was like, I just want Cole Townsend. That looks cool. Everyone with a blue check mark has just their name. So
Mhm.
I found his on Instagram, wanted to buy it, and he was some dirt bike kid with like 800 followers. I'm like, oh yes, he'll freaking give it to me. And hey man, what's up? Well, I'll give you $500 to have your Instagram handle. No, I see that you've got like 80,000 followers. I want 10 grand.
What? Because that's what that means.
I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
I responded like, dude, this isn't gonna benefit me at all. I just think it would be
It's just-
cool for
yeah, it's
myself.
just
Like,
cleaner. Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, well, are you riding professionally? No. I'm like, nope.
Just want 10 grand.
Yeah, just want 10
businessman
grand.
right
I'm like,
there.
dang, what a greedy dude.
Businessman.
So the only way for me to just have Cole Townsend in my name was to put the in front of it. And the reason for that was because in high school, everyone called me the Cole Townsend because I was just
Because, I mean,
I was, in my high school, I was a pretty big athlete. I'd played golf, track, football, and baseball.
and killed
Cole
a
Townsend.
bunch of birds.
And killed a lot of birds. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it just
Makes
kind
sense, man.
of, everyone called me the Cole Townsend, so I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to run with it. So I just ran with it.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it was
working.
awesome.
Yeah.
I used to hate when people would say that to me. So I was just like, screw it, I'm going flip it on them.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh,
yeah.
that's pretty cool. No, it's I'm excited to see what you put out. I'm excited to get this episode out with you that we're doing. I mean, when people actually see this podcast and the episode, will probably be in like January, February.
Nice.
So a little bit of a lag, but
That's all right.
hopefully everybody can go back and check out everything you're doing
Sweet.
too.
Yeah, I shouted out the Road to 100
sweet.
YouTube on the video too
Awesome.
for tomorrow.
We appreciate
so,
that. Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we definitely need to do more with you. Like, let's get out of your norm.
Dude.
Yeah.
Keep that passion
And,
burning.
and go do some like truly like some fun stuff.
Dude,
like
if
let's get you out of guide
If
life.
you get me out of guiding onto some buddy hunts,
Let's go do a buddy
I go
hunt.
crazy.
Let's go do
I
a
have
buddy
so
hunt.
much fun.
Well,
and I
we've-
want to, like, I don't only want you to come, like, I want you to run your GoPro. Like, dude, you've
Oh,
been a
yeah.
great
Do your
character
thing.
already. Like,
Yeah.
if we can get you out of that guide, because I can tell that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Once you're out of that
Mhm.
guide, dude, I feel like we're going to have to, like, watch you. Like, you're
I know,
gonna be
I'm a little
danger
nervous,
to
like,
wherever
yeah.
we're at.
Crap.
Dude, I'm a crackhead, dude.
How are we gonna keep Cole out of jail?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not
hide
like
your
that.
wife, hide your kids.
I think we got a little taste
Dude.
of it with Kelly this morning.
Yeah.
Oh
You can
man.
see the dynamic there.
Oh yeah, we go crazy.
I
we
love
go
it.
crazy.
Oh, you'll fit right in with us then.
Yeah, please.
We'll have
let's
to
do it.
stay tuned, everyone. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a Cole part 2,
Yeah.
maybe somewhere else.
We have to.
Different country, maybe we'll see what
Oh,
happens.
I'm down.
We got some
Anytime.
plans. We got some
We got some
We've been
plans.
talking about some
Anytime.
stuff.
I don't want to tell anybody anything.
No.
No.
No, like if y'all want to see where we go and what we do with Cole, then you're just gonna
Go
have to keep
follow us,
watching.
man.
Go
Yeah.
follow us.
Yeah.
keep
Follow
watching.
along.
Dude, that would be so sweet.
I love it. Well, there's another segment I want to do. Unless y'all have more YouTube questions, so I don't want to end that too
No.
too early.
We hammered that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
All right,
did.
I-
We basically aired
That's-
out all his secrets. So
That's
we
the
don't want
gist
too
of
many.
it.
We don't
Yeah.
want too many secrets.
Oh,
out
it's
there.
not secrets,
Um,
dude. To be that committed to YouTube, you have to be that committed to YouTube
For sure.
Right.
to
Yeah.
do any good
That's
at
the
it all.
secret.
yeah,
Like I don't care.
Consistency.
I don't care how good you are at filming
that's
editing.
what I've learned. Yeah,
anything. You
Yeah.
have to commit to it.
Yeah.
It's a
But
job. It's a
consistency.
job. It's another full-time job.
yep,
Yeah.
And until you do that, it's not going to be growing
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Right.
yeah,
But if you do, it will grow. Like it will. Like if you post
Yeah.
once a week, it will grow. 100% every time.
There you have it.
Especially with how good you are at editing and filming and going to kill cool ducks
Right.
and geese and whatever,
Right.
you know. It will. Like
I'm-
it will. That's how the algorithm works.
I'm super excited to see how everybody responds to
yeah,
everything that you're doing on this. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be exciting.
yeah. Because now we're trying to combine that. You know, some good editing and good filming with consistency.
Yeah.
So, and that's why
And-
we're holding off on these episodes until January.
and lock up 5 videos, have them ready to go.
Exactly.
That's
back
what we're gonna
That's
do.
pocket.
5 weeks of work.
with
Yeah.
corresponding
Done.
podcasts, and it's just
Yeah.
gonna be
Right.
hammer, hammer,
Yeah.
hammer.
Yeah.
There you go. You've got it.
Yeah.
It'll
We got
work.
The
It'll work.
Cole Townsend formula,
Hey, we
so
got
it
Cole.
will work.
Cole's on the show.
Dude, it's every YouTuber's formula
Yeah.
that is growing and successful. That's
Yeah.
no secret. You
Awesome.
can Google this stuff. It's all over the internet already.
It's the truth.
But to hear it like I can tell you, it works.
Yeah.
And it will work as long as you're consistent. Post that stuff. It'll grow. I don't know how fast. Maybe real fast. Maybe not. I mean, even go back and look at like I don't want to say names, but like Lucky Duck's channel. They post once, 2 times a year, maybe. They've got 100,000 something subscribers. They get 5,000 views.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when you stop, it goes down.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And it takes forever to climb the mountain again. You're climbing the mountain again because these people are subscribed, but they're not.
You got to feed them.
Your stuff isn't recommended to them anymore.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like the more the posts, the more you're recommended to your own subscribers.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then once they watch it, and if they click on it a lot, then it goes out to everyone.
Interesting.
Yeah. So when you see the click-through rate pop up and it's like over 20%, like 20%. 1 out of every 5 people that is subscribed to you clicks on your video and watches it 10 minutes. Then YouTube's like, poof, I'm going to send it to another 50,000 people.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's how you get into other people's recommended based on algorithm.
And if that click-through rate continues to stay around 20% or whatever it is, like initially the click-through rate starts high. Like those are your the loyalist of the loyal. And then it kind of trickles down once it gets boosted to new people and new people and new people. So let's say it goes out to 500,000 people and it only goes down like 5%. That video is going to do like 500,000 views or whatever. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. Instagram, I have no idea what the algorithm is. I'll post a video and it'll get 15K, and then the next one will get a 250.
Anybody's guess
know
at this
what
point.
their algorithm is.
No,
anymore.
It's anybody's guess at this point.
I hate it. Honestly, I honestly hate it.
That's what I keep telling people. I mean, we've been talking about that. There's
so,
been a drastic shift.
And especially from an artist point of view, like a photographer in the outdoor industry, that shit used to be fire.
Exactly.
And
saw your work.
now you post those pictures, you post those same photos now, and you have 100,000 more followers. No, it'll do worse than it did when you had 5,000.
I look at
It's
guys.
insane.
I think Sam Soholt or Sam Soholt.
Yep.
Dude, like amazing photographer.
Yeah.
And it's like I saw him post about it, several months ago. But how on earth is he not getting the engagement he used to? It's just such a weird lost platform. I don't know.
It's weird. Like the only photographers and cinematic people I see getting a lot of stuff is like mountain pictures and stuff like that. Some of those Instagrams do really well, and I don't know how.
It's all revolving around reels. I feel like now, like
it's all
reels.
reels.
Reels, so
definitely.
From a business perspective, I mean, just for our page, we've had to just
for
stop
Mallard Bay,
relying on Instagram so much and start to grow on other platforms. But also the repurposing of the content that you're already putting out there and putting it on other platforms is what works.
Yeah,
definitely.
But you're still testing everything.
Exactly.
I think TikTok's good for a loyal audience. I look for loyal audiences now.
Right.
Like, I don't care. Like if I get a video that does really a reel that does really good on Instagram, like you're hitting an audience that's not coming back.
Yeah,
you know?
hitting them once.
TikTok, I think they come back. YouTube, they're coming
They're
back. If they watch 10 minutes of your life and they like it, they're coming back.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like. They comment awesome comments. They enjoy they take note of how hard you work and all that stuff. Like
you were telling us about the guy that left a comment yesterday or something.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool and kind of creepy.
I wish I could find that. Was hilarious.
It's a cool, creepy comment.
It was a little far into my life. Oh, here it is right here. I can find it. Serious question. Saw you played for Little Rock, so I looked you up on the roster. In your picture, it looks like you throw a 4-seam fastball, but hold your changeup in a 2-seam grip. Why not throw across the seams to spin like your fastball? like how, dude, he's analyzing photos on the website, on the Little Rock website from watching a YouTube video.
Man.
People, you're going to get
That's
some.
a little creepy.
Yeah, but it's also cool at the same time.
Cool.
Like, they're really in tune with everything.
Yeah.
You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Like what you put on the internet. For
sure.
Especially if people are looking that deep.
No doubt. So, dude, what's the deal with your changeup then?
So my 4-seam fastball.
Answer this guy's question.
I did respond. I took time to respond. I throw a first pitch fastball 4-seam just because I knew I could throw it for a strike. 2-seam tails a lot, and I didn't know. So that's it.
Yeah.
I threw a lot more 2-seamers. Just I wanted that first pitch strike.
I hear you.
To get ahead. You
got to get ahead in the game.
Yeah, you got to be ahead.
So one last thing before we get off of this whole YouTube algorithm beating. Anyone who's actually interested in this is gold.
This is
really
good.
good. People need to hear this that are content creators starting out, or even guys that want to
they're guessing in the dark.
Yeah,
and especially getting into it now, hard.
Yeah, it is
way harder than it used to be.
Yeah, and it's that consistency now.
And it's only going to get harder.
Yeah,
for sure.
But one thing I wanted to bring up with you talking about how people get so enwrapped in your life, and it is kind of weird from your perspective, but from their perspective, I was watching this TED Talk the other day, and this guy was basically saying that he's like, "Who's your number one on Spotify?" And dude's like, "Well, Drake." But most basic answer, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, how many hours have you played this guy? And he looks, and it's like 30 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
anybody that you talk to, I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's anything that you hear someone talking and interacting with you, your brain cannot distinguish over the phone versus in person. So people that have
Right.
watched you for more than 15 hours,
Mhm.
you're actually their best friend.
Right.
You don't know them, but they actually,
Yeah.
their brain, they see the
Yeah.
Cole Townsend, they're like, that's my best
Dude,
friend.
what's insane also with the waterfowl stuff, it's such a niche market. So when you run into those people in the real world,
Yeah.
they know.
Yes.
Dude, they know my friends on my channel.
Yeah.
And I only have 20,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Right.
So my buddy Michael was back home going to academy to get fishing baits. He's like, "You're Michael from Cole's videos." He's like, "What? What?" Like they know him.
Yeah.
They recognize him.
Yeah.
in East
kinda-
Texas.
It's
like
kind of crazy.
It's nuts.
I was you got me thinking now. So I was at Disney World with my family,
I'm sorry.
and a guy recognized me in the line for riding Dumbo. And,
No.
and he was afraid to talk to me because he didn't want to interrupt like family time. But he DM'd
Yeah.
me later. He's like, "Dude, I saw you at Disney World
Yeah.
with your family." I was like, I was a little creeped out. But I was like, "Man, you should have just come up and said, hey."
I know
like,
that.
Yeah.
we could have gone and looked at the ducks over there by the freaking castle and talked about how
Right.
our setup would be. You know,
Yeah, that'll start happening.
it's kind of crazy. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Okay, this has been pure gold. I want to dive into one more little segment that we like to do
Okay.
called Dirtbag Diaries.
Okay.
Every guy that's been in the game for a long time usually has a pretty good guide story. And I know you've
Guide
got a
story.
bunch. And this is kind of hard because there's probably a ton of different
Well, you already
stories you
used
can tell
up
us.
the
Yeah.
Russian.
You used the
stoke
Russians,
juice.
the rogue Russians.
Oh God.
But like, give us one more like classic Cole guide story here. That's either your funniest or like just a batshit crazy client, whatever it is.
I guess a funny story would be, I was working at Goose Reapers up in Oklahoma. This was my first year there. I had only been there for about 2 weeks. I was 20. Oh gosh, how old was I? 22, 23, somewhere in there. And fresh out of it was like Thanksgiving break out of college or something. I was 20. I was in college still, so 21, 22 maybe. And so we're drinking still. We're young.
Mhm.
We get a bottle of Pendleton. We're all just taking, just straight up, just freaking chugging. And one guy goes and passes out. One of the new guys that was newer than me is downstairs. We have a fire. We're all hanging out. It's like not even late. It's like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And other buddy that drank a whole entire bottle of Tito's himself finds a flamethrower and just starts lighting the house on fire. This guide that is this guy. My buddy Ben, I don't know if he'll even remember this, but yeah, he lit the house on fire. Then he goes to chase it. I'm going to chase the new guy and lights him on fire. And we're all freaking out. So we tackle Ben with the flamethrower, put it out, and this kid is screaming down the road. There's no water. We're in dry Oklahoma. And he ends up just rolling in the dirt. Yeah.
Wow.
It was bad. Thankfully, he wasn't like burned real bad or anything. He was red though. He was red.
Oh yeah.
So, dude, I
That
don't know.
way.
There's crazy stories like that too. I mean, we went hunting with Co Wetzel. That was fun.
Yeah, I'm sure that was
Went
a
to the
good time.
bar. Went to the
Cole's a
titter.
wild man.
Yeah, that was fun. Co made me do some things I didn't want to do to get on the van, to not go home with a drunk driver, so I get to ride with his driver.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So this is the guide life.
it's good life.
I
I
think
mean,
this is a good snapshot of it. Man.
now that I'm 29, I try to go to bed before 10.
I
But
know.
no,
We
I'm just
we
kidding.
screwed that up.
No, I can hang. It's no problem.
Oh,
But,
Old
good.
man Cole.
dude,
Old man Cole.
it's yeah. You can hear it in my voice. It's kind of
catch it.
It's coming.
it's
Yeah.
coming on.
Yeah, wait till
We're only on like day 40. or
I'm the
something.
freaking old guy here. Wait till you guys get past 30. It starts going downhill quick.
Dude, I can tell already. Like that steak's gonna hurt in the morning.
Oh yeah, no,
Like
that's
red meat, dude. Like I used to destroy steaks 3-4 times a week. Now if I have it once, I'm like, scared. I'm scared. Like it hurts the stomach.
I'm not looking forward to that.
wait.
Yeah,
This is-
just you guys wait.
Yeah, the digestive system changes. You got to like drink water. You like actually drink water.
Wait till the joints start hurting.
Oh,
Man.
I'm not excited for that.
All right, well, let's wrap this thing up because we do need to get up and
Yeah.
bang out one more day.
We're gonna bang it up tomorrow.
I always like to have these final two questions, right?
All right.
So, first question: if you could go to any one location in the world to hunt waterfowl, where would you go?
Okay. So since you told me before, I thought about this a little bit.
All right, good.
New Zealand.
Yeah,
I'm picking New Zealand. For one, like those photos I see with the huge mountains in the background.
Yeah.
Like, I know you can do it in Montana, blah, blah,
Sure.
but for the experience, go to New Zealand. Mountains in the background, killing as many hunters as you want or whatever.
Sure.
A
Yep.
lot of them.
Yep.
And then they've got the pretty other ducks too.
They've
I don't
got
even know the
the
names.
Paradise shell duck.
Yep.
They've got the black swan,
Yep.
which is pretty epic.
You shot one of those.
I did. Yeah,
Yeah, that
those
was
are
sweet.
really cool.
That's what I wanted to kill one after.
They've got some cool species over there. And
Yeah.
they've got these like
They've got those crazy teal too, don't they?
yes, they do. They've also got the pukekos, which is actually like an upland bird.
Oh yeah.
Those are pretty awesome.
Okay, and on top of that, I get to go fly fishing for those giant brown trout.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. And like
Yeah.
crystal clear
Yeah.
water.
And
yeah.
tiny creeks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then it's like true like sight fishing. Like,
yeah,
you better be on your game.
That would be the one. That
my
if
kinda
I
answer
could,
right
that would
there.
be yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my first.
That'll be
place.
cool.
And
There-
it's where they filmed Lord of the Rings. Just gonna
Yeah,
drop
yeah,
that
dude.
out there.
Is it
course.
really?
Oh yeah,
No
dude.
kidding.
Oh yeah, dude. You
Yeah.
can go
Wow.
like the culture experience there. So it's like
Yeah.
you can go fish for the big browns, shoot the cool
Yeah.
birds, and then you can go on some legit like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
like
they have
tours.
Hobbiton
No
there.
kidding.
Yeah,
you can
dude.
go to Hobbiton, like the Shire.
Yeah.
No
You
way.
can go there. You can stay there.
We can go
Yeah.
nerd out.
I mean, that's where I'm going. They've got the
Got
doors
to.
already built for me. So
Dude,
true,
their
like,
their
fit.
accents are really cool too.
It's
Yeah.
a cool place.
So like when you call them, they have like a 20-digit number or something.
yeah, it's
Have you noticed? Like,
Yeah, it's
you
weird.
know that.
how many
What's that
girlfriends do
guy's
you
name?
have in New Zealand, Cole?
No, there's one. There's one dude.
careful.
Gosh dang it! What's his name? You know who I'm talking
Shoot, Geoff.
about. Geoff. Yeah.
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 There's a
Irvine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a few guys, and there, in fact, since we even just kind of put out there, nobody even really up to this point of recording this podcast, we haven't put a ton of information out on what the Road to 100 is exactly. I
Oh,
think people
okay.
are figuring it out just by
Yeah.
the name. But we've had 3 different guys from New Zealand that are like, please come hunt with us.
Dude.
Please come
yeah.
hunt with us. I'm like, yep.
Jeff Irvine, dude, he is hilarious.
He's a
Like,
good dude. I met him
he's-
at the World Goose Calling Championship like 6-7 years ago. His daughter was
His
calling.
daughter
it.
is
Exactly. His
insane.
daughter was calling in it.
I was showing buddies like a month ago.
She's good.
I was like, listen to this girl.
Yeah, super good.
Insane.
Well, we got to make New Zealand happen one of these days.
It's got
Hopefully,
to.
we can be there
It's
with you.
got to. Yeah. I don't
fi-
have anyone to go with. I really don't.
that
You
mean
guys, I'll
let's
go
do
with
it.
anyone.
Let's
Oh, like we're down. Final question: since this whole project we're doing is wrapped up around 100+ species of waterfowl around the world, it doesn't have to be related to New Zealand. But if you could hunt one species of waterfowl, which one would you want to hunt? And I'll say it this way: not something that you would normally like. I don't want to hear mallard or Canada goose.
Oh no, hell no.
Something that's like truly like
Like
the
that I
bucket
want-
list
like-
for you.
like
Your
a bucket list.
Yeah.
Dude, like anything that I can go and tell a story. Like we flew into Alaska on a float plane and
Yeah.
went to an island and we covered up in the moss and like
Yeah.
anything like that, like
Right.
Gotcha.
king-eyed or
Sure.
yeah, I've never even laid in a boat on the
A layout boat?
sea duck hunting. I've never
Yeah.
done that either. I'd love to do that.
Sure.
Go
Yeah.
shoot some sea ducks. I don't care where it's at.
Yeah.
I want to lay in one of those boats and hit the waves and see if I can hit something.
Yeah.
You know? So
Awesome.
yeah, anything outside of what I do every day, like
Right.
I get
Sure.
a kick out of, like a blast.
Awesome. Well, seriously, we're definitely going to need to have you come and join us on some cool stuff later on in this
Dude.
project. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'll
We'll
freak
check some
out.
stuff off the list.
Yes, please, please.
Heck
I have
yeah.
a big list to check off,
Yeah.
Let's go.
like a big one.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
exactly
for
what
real.
we're doing too. So, well, cool, man. Thank you so much. It's been awesome few days getting to hang with you and hunt. Super excited to have everybody watch this podcast and listen to it and see the episode. And if you haven't already subscribed and followed to Cole Townsend on YouTube, please go and do it. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one, guys. This has been a great podcast to have with
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man.